Well, Charlie, let's get started. Would you, for the audience, would you introduce yourself? What's your role here?
I'm Charlie Gandy. I'm the mobility coordinator for the city of Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Mapes really did a good job of telling the story.
Get that in the shot. So,
Mapes did a story on the evolution of our little movement, and I've been doing this professionally since 1990, and have been involved in some of the infrastructure that's in place now for the movement. And I recommend this book for anybody.
Give me an autograph,
all right,
Charlie. Annotate it for me, to Frank.
Let me put some eyes on this.
Oh, that's
Thank
great.
you very much.
That's great, Charlie. Thank you. All right, so here we go, part two. We had to move conference rooms, but we're back at it. We're talking to Charlie Gandy, Transportation Coordinator, City of Long Beach. So, Charlie, a few minutes ago talked about Coastal Commission. I guess what I'm fishing for is in Newport Beach, we could create bike lanes if we could get rid of some of the parking on the street.
At PCH or local streets?
Well, say local streets down on the peninsula. That would be Balboa and Newport Boulevards down there. But I hear that Coastal Commission, that's a challenge whenever you reduce access to the coast. What would be your read on that? How would you go about addressing that? Or am I barking up the wrong tree here?
I'm not sure about the particular streets that you're thinking about. Oftentimes we find space for bike lanes where the car travel lanes can be narrowed up, although I do know in your part of the world those are most cases fairly narrow, quaint streets,
to
aren't
begin
they?
with.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And so to pull out parking is to get a bike lane in is the problem. Sharrows then, of course, are our fallback position for that.
Right.
And I know the Coastal Commission's very much on our program.
Would think so.
Yeah.
Right.
But I didn't know. I haven't had any direct dealings with those guys related to parking, removing parking, and that if they had a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Has
Theoretically,
that been your experience?
you could bring. Well, I haven't approached them, but it was hinted at that might be a challenge. On paper, anyway, you could make a case, like in some of your neighborhoods, that if you take a few parking places, increase bicycle access, you could actually increase access to the beach.
And that's a new concept around here.
Right.
So maybe what I've learned is the Coastal Commission is more open to this bicycle stuff than anybody else. We're working with them closely on making sure that we have a high quality project done on the new Desmond Bridge here across. That will replace the existing Desmond Bridge over the port of Long Beach, and they're holding to their guns to make this thing safe and attractive to all cyclists. So our other experience, by the way, with the Coastal Commission is that we're planning we have a 3-mile long concrete bike path, similar to all the other bike paths around on the beach. And it's overwhelmed. It's overwhelmed with users, and so runners, everything from who uses the beach.
So
path.
that's a sign of success, right, isn't it?
And so, and we also know the Coastal Commission is not a big fan of building more asphalt or concrete on the beach. And so, what we're getting to do is design a 12-foot wide hardened earth running trail, parallel to the existing trail. That trail we talked about, Austin, or any great running town has. Hard-packed dirt surfaces, usually DG, decomposed granite covers, but in this case it'll be hard-packed with a little sand on top. That's going to then migrate all those walkers and people that aren't using wheels to the dirt path and make that a very attractive place. And the reason I'm putting this on the table is I think that has applications in other parts of the Southern California's coastline.
I could picture that in our neighborhood too. Yeah.
And so where you have a relatively flat surface, you can do that kind of application without a lot of maintenance issues. It's hard to do it on a slope where it rains all the time and it washes out.
Right.
But on our beaches, it's an excellent, I think, going to be an excellent new idea.
How about bike lanes in the middle of town? You got a great backdrop there, Charlie, the city of Long Beach.
City of Long Beach.
Yeah.
It's a beach town.
Yeah.
And we want to make it more of a beach town than it is now. And so what we're doing is repurposing the street. Our Broadway and 3rd project through downtown is going to be, we're taking out 1 lane of travel. We have 3 lanes, and our traffic counts only show that 2 are justified. And so what we'll be doing is taking out the far left lane of travel and bringing then the parking lane out and using that protected space over here as a bike lane. So you have the sidewalk, a 10-foot wide one-way bike lane on Broadway and on 3rd in the reverse. Then you have parked cars, 2-car travel lanes, parked cars, and sidewalk.
Wow.
So the only other place this has been done in the U.S. in an urban condition is New York City.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And we're proud of that as another one of our innovations here.
Wow.
You know, again, we talked about this earlier. Long Beach wants to be an innovative town. We want to be a early adopter in the livable communities realm, and test models and either demonstrate that they don't work in Southern California or that they do work in Southern California, and be a beacon of fresh ideas for those that have similar conditions in Southern California.
Inspiration to me in Long Beach. Yeah.
Maybe so.
Right. And then bike racks. Probably, I can picture just a few years ago, you look at Long Beach, you need 1 million bike racks. Or was that a big deal?
Well, you know, we put 400 in last year, and we're putting 2,000 in this year.
Oh, wow.
We got a grant to do $1 million worth of bike racks. And so that's the most bike racks of any city in the nation this year. It was a stimulus grant. And so they're art racks. So we have everything from guitars to palm trees to flowers to yoga positions in the form of bike racks. And
so you're stimulating the arts as well. Huh?
Well, we're finding that sometimes people don't recognize them as bike racks.
Right. Sidewalk sculptures.
That's right.
Look at that guy lashing his bicycle up to that sidewalk.
That's
sculpture.
Right, pretty much.
Wow.
But no, with those 2,000 racks, we're able to be responsive to all the businesses that want bike racks, all the schools that want bike racks, all the places where people are going. We're accommodating them, and we're putting them in safe places where there's eyes on the street and so forth. So they're relatively safe. Mm-hmm. And then of that, we're putting in 50 bike corrals. As we mentioned earlier, it's taking one car parking space, and converting that to a bike corral where we can get 14 customers in, where previously we could get a car with maybe 1.
Wow! So
that's the reason why businesses are starting to line up. And you know, as a caffeine achiever, let me tell you, we these coffee shops recognize that if they can put a bike corral in front of their store, not only is that rock star parking for bicyclists that show up, but then bicyclists can come in and buy that $4 latte and sit out there and keep an eye on their bike. Their bike's not going anywhere. There's not an SUV parked there that's billowing smoke out onto the sidewalk. Right. And you've got a view out across into the neighborhood or into the community. Right. And so they see that as a way to increase the value of their sidewalk space. And, of course, we're pulling the bikes off the sidewalk and putting them into the corral. Mm-hmm. So that's, I'm enthusiastic about this.
Lots of benefits.
Right.
No matter what subject we seem to touch on, you're
fresh thinking.
seeing a lot of benefits.
Yeah. Fresh thinking.
Yeah.